Hello my honeys and welcome back to my YouTube channel Hayley Shoots Film, where you can follow me on my 35mm film photography journey. I'm back guys and I'm so happy to have a brand new YouTube video for you. I've really missed you guys and I'm really sorry my channel's been a bit quiet recently, but I've actually been working really hard behind the scenes to line a bunch of YouTube videos up for you. So back in October, me and my fiance went to the Yorkshire Dales and had a beautiful time. Like, the whole place is just rolling hills and green valleys and sheep. And it just screams Lord of the Rings to me. If you love that film, I definitely recommend going to the Yorkshire Dales. I think it's one of the best places I've been to in the UK, so definitely go. And then we also took a trip to Whitby, where we had scampi. It was beautiful. And we also went to Robin's Hood Bay, which is this really quaint fisherman village right by the seaside. It's stunning. And back in September, we went to Wales for my brother's 30th birthday, so I've got a video on that coming up. And now we're in November, it's currently lockdown 2.0. So to keep myself sane, I've been going out with the Minolta to take some photographs, especially when we've got that gorgeous autumnal low light that just hits the hues of the yellows and orange of the trees. Oh, I just love this time of year. It's one of my favourite times to take photographs. And I can't resist a nice photograph of pretty leaves. So now we're all caught up to the main point of this video. I'm going to be doing a review on Kentmere 400. Now, every film stock has its own individual personality and shooting style. Now, the Kentmere 400 is really popular, especially for beginners who are picking up film for the very first time. So let's get on into the review. I recently used an old Kentmere 400 film which expired in May 2019 to shoot my very first roll of film using my Minolta SRT 101 with my 50mm 1.2 prime lens. I actually made a video documenting my first shoot in Iron Bridge, and you can watch the full video above, but I will also post a link at the end of this video. Now, I purchased my version of Kentmere 400 approximately 5 years ago, and I say my version because since then Kentmere 400 has actually been rebranded and is now known as Kentmere Pan 400. The film stock is still exactly the same. What is fantastic about Kentmere is that it is considered to be the most budget-friendly black and white film, making it a fantastic film type for beginner film enthusiasts. However, Kentmere 400 is much more than cost effective. You can also achieve some really nice results using this film type. Shooting at 400 ISO box speed, you can achieve a fine grain, good sharpness with broad tonal ranges. Some people have found that shooting with Kentmere 400 produced relatively flat contrast, but that definitely hasn't been my experience with Kentmere. Considering Kentmere 400 is one of the cheapest film types you can find, I was actually amazed by the contrast in tone. You can find good details in shadows, nice grey tones throughout, and a nice silvery shade for the highlights. Now, Kentmere 400 may require longer development times to get good results, which may be why sometimes the film can come out flatter than it should. By ensuring each film gets the correct development times, this means you will achieve the best possible grain structure, shadow details, and contrast for optimum results. This actually wasn't my first time using this film, having used it previously during my time at university. So far, I have found it very reliable and extremely worth the price, particularly for learners who may not want to branch out and spend loads on film when they are just getting started and are just experimenting at this stage. Many people mention how cost effective the film is compared to, let's say, Illford HP5, which the film type is so often compared to. However, I haven't seen anyone mention by how much. So I've had a little look on Analog Wonderland, which is a website where you can buy many types of film. And the price for one film with 36 exposures is as follows, dated November 2020. Kentmere 400 is £4.50 for 36 exposures and Ilford HP5 is £5.75. So there is a whole £1.15 difference, which may not seem a huge amount, but sometimes every penny counts. Although many may prefer Ilford HP5, which is known for wonderful contrast, beautiful grain, whilst also being a very forgiving film, I do think that Kentmere 400 can stand its own ground, and I look forward to doing a video at some point in the future to compare Kentmere 400 with Ilford HP5. Kentmere 400 seems to push okay to at least 2 steps above. However, I can't actually comment on this as I only shot my photographs at box speed at 400 ISO, as I was shooting in very open, available light, which Kentmere 400 is really good for. Pushing the ISO may result in grainier photographs, which isn't always a bad thing. Overall, Kentmere 400 is well worth the price, and I would recommend everyone to try it out at least once. The film stock isn't for everyone, but honestly, considering the shoot was mostly an experiment to test out my brand new 35mm film camera, and Kentmere 400 was just a film stock I had lying around at the time, I am actually impressed with some of the shots I managed to get. The images are nice and sharp, and there is a beautiful contrast in many of the photographs. Considering many were taken in cloudy conditions, I don't think I could have asked for much more from my very first shoot. So there you have it, guys. That's my film review and experience using Kentmere 400. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you have not, and leave your comments down below on what your thoughts are of using Kentmere 400, or if you have any recommendations of film stock that I simply have to try, then I would love to hear them. I've recently been shooting with Fujifilm Extra 400. So this is my first time using 35mm colour film. I've now shot about 4 of these rolls, so I'm looking forward to moving on to a different colour film so I can kind of compare the results, and then I'll move back to black and white for a bit and maybe experiment with a bit of Ilford or anything outside the box. Any suggestions you have for me, just let me know. But I think that pretty much wraps this video up. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching, for your continued support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.